So, the pilot's been released. So before I get into this, sorry for the echo and the background noise. I'm in a McDonald's toilet at the minute, about to go to work. But, you know, too many thoughts are rushing through my head to sort of wait to go home for this. So, I wake up at 7 o'clock this morning, and then, you know, about 2 minutes of being awake, Mum calls me into her bedroom, and then I walk in, and then lo and behold, I see the pilot model of Gordon at Tidmouth, and like literally, I pog out my fucking mind. And it was just like, I'm sort of a bit like lost for words at the minute, truth be told. But like, you know, it's just like I had a fucking 5-minute long rant to myself before recording this, but like it's just like I kind of expected it a little bit with like the whispers and like the via word of mouth that, you know, they do have it kind of thing, but still it's like it's an absolute gobsmack to like see it like on TV because it was on the news this morning. But like I'm sort of like not hyperventilating, but like my voice is sort of a bit like like that, you know, because I'm still sort of in shock a little bit. Also, I'm trying to like control my volume because I'm in the McDonald's toilet. But you know, but no, it's like it's cool now. Like, what do you call it? Now we have 2 out of 3 holy grails of the Thomas community, like lost media wise, that have now been found. Those being the 1953 adaptation of Sad Story of Henry, Missing Coach, and now this, the 1983 pilot. Like, Missing Coach, even if like we don't have footage of it, of the Missing Coach, like we pretty much have the full story of like what it was going to be like, kind of thing. So we have the Missing Coach and now this. So it's sort of like, you know, because like we sort of knew on the back of our minds, I want to say for definite, and I'm speaking for everyone here a little bit, that like, you know, they did have it, because we knew that they've reused some footage of the pilot for episode 25 down the line, which was like the final episode of like, or the final cut rather, of that same story. So we can't like, and then Tug brought up that, you know, those were some of the only clips on the top of my head, again I have to watch the video again, that like them clips from the pilot coincidentally were also fully restored. So like obviously they did have it in the archives, and we've known for a long time now that they have it in the archives. So it's like, you know, they have the upper hand to like, not upper hand, but you know what I mean, they sort of have that leg up in the sense that they do have the pilot still somehow. But like, and then like going back to Missing Coach, when like Nick Starwind was doing his videos either during or afterwards when he covered Lost Media, I can't remember which, where he brought up emails from Ian McHugh himself, either to him or to Thomas Fan 2002, just confirming that, you know, they do have it, the pilot, and like confirming that they do have plans to like actually release it or do something with it for the 80th anniversary. This was like 2 or 3 years ago on the top of the dome. Sorry, I'm not sure of the timing, because it's been a while. So like, you know, I want to say like we sort of knew, like 50% knew that they were going to do something like this and release it, but still, it's like when they do, like when, you know, put it in my shoes, like when you see it live on TV, like full on broadcast, not YouTube or anything, it's like, what the fuck, you know, it's like it sort of hits you, you know, because you wouldn't have expected it to. And I recorded it as well. Side note, the news fucking drag a lot out of it, because it's like, you know, about 7 times I press record on my iPad, and then like being like, okay, yeah, this is it, they're going to show it, and then it cuts to bloody American Pope or like moon rock. It's like, buddy, people want to see the trains. Moon rock is stupid. But like, you know, I got it in the end. I've recorded it all and I've archived it for my own enjoyment. I was going to post it, but I've held off, like, just in case just in case Mattel themselves sort of pull back on it. I doubt they will, because, like, they've said the idea of doing something with the pilot for the 80th anniversary year has been up in the air for the past 2 or 3 years. So, you know, I doubt if they did go back on it afterwards, you know, they'd get shot. Also, it'd be a complete waste of time because they've fully restored it as well. And, like, on the news as well, seeing like the actual fucking reel, like, on the news, because, like, afterwards, after they showed clips of the pilot, they had Ian McHugh and Reverend Audrey's grandson, or Christopher's, I can't remember which one they specified. Side note, by the way, they mentioned Willie Rushton and Johnny Morris. Relish there is appreciation! Anyway, and, like, they were talking about, you know, sort of like the history of the books, like, showed pictures of Wilbert, and then, like, you know, nooks and crannies about the show's history. And, like, it's fun. Ian McHugh brought up a good point as well. It's like, people still think that Ringo narrates the show to this day. So, where, like, you know, obviously Michelangelis, and then, like, others afterwards, after him. So, funny that he brought that up as well. But, like, you know, while they were talking, they had, on, like, the little table, like, in the middle of the room, they had the Cool Props Thomas on display, and then next to it, they had, like, the actual reel with the date on it of, like, when it was sort of filmed. Of, like, I think it was 28th of March, 1983. So it was like, Jesus Christ, it's right there. But no, like, you know, sort of to keep long story short, because I've got to go work in a minute. You know, we sort of, like, knew in the back of our heads that it was going to happen, but now that it has, it's like, holy shit. Because, like, you know, not being funny, but for the past 4 or 5 years, ever since the reboot got announced, or, like, the screenshot got leaked, Mattel's, like, you know, track record with us fans hasn't been great. I say 4 years and not 5 because, like, you know, even though the show's, like, long since dead, in fairness, like, 2025 has been a pretty good fucking year. Like, with merchandise, hell, the bloody play rail came in clutch as well. But, like, you know, so, you know, it's been a pretty good year objectively. But, like, and this is the thing as well, like, it's fucking, again, I'm still at a loss of words. I know I've been going on for about however long, but, like, you know, like, we've known for a while that the fandom thrives. Like, even if the show's dead, the fandom fucking thrives of their creativity, and we've known this for a while. But, like, you know, it's stuff like this where, like, Mattel sort of, like, kick us in the face, and it's like, you know, we do still care. And I compare it a little bit to, like, you know, the Tatmar leaks, like, around the same time as Missing Coach, when the work print leaked, because she sort of went guns blazing of, like, you know, this and that, you know, this shouldn't be out. Again, my memory's blurry on this because it was a while, but, like, you know, how, like, that was sort of like the people that had that work print shouldn't have had it in the first place kind of ordeal, and it was in the wrong hands. But in this case, it's more in a favour because it's Mattel themselves that have, like, you know, put it out there. So it's like, you know, well, it's great for us fans. It's a travesty that Britt Allcroft isn't, you know, around to witness all of this. You know, but yeah, yeah, I'm still sort of in shock at it, to be honest. Like, you know, it'll more will get more info will come out, and it'll probably get released on YouTube, like, in the next coming days or today later. But, like, you know, that's sort of my stance on it. I'm gonna stop now because I got to go, but, you know, I might re-record this, fuck knows. But anyway, you know, until then, this has been me saying goodbye. See you on the other side, guys.